Now, if you're a guitar player, you've got to do something to protect your guitars when you're storing them at home, and certainly when you're taking them out to gigs or taking them into the studio. The next products I want to show you are some that come from Gator cases. Now, Gator's making an incredible variety of cases for all sorts of gear, but they came out at NAMM with these two new guitar cases that are really cool. Now, this one I have here in front of me is the Journeyman Dreadnought case. And there's some interesting things about this. This is actually a wooden case. It uses an antique bronze hardware around this, looks really cool. They've covered it with what they call a pebbled burlap finish, which is very durable. It doesn't, you're not going to have any problem with tears on that. It's going to last basically the lifetime of the case, or your lifetime, probably longer than you will live. This case will be happy. It's got a leather style binding on it here. But what's cool is on the inside. When you open this up, I'm going to try and show it to you here. It's tough to see, but there's a really thick pad on the back of this. There's a pad on the back of this that's about 3/4 inch thick. So as opposed to cases where it sits right in there just on some velvet or something in the back, your guitar is nicely protected when it sits inside this case by that extra foam that's inside there. And this plush lining really protects the finish as well. But a really cool thing that I like about this is that there's a cutout for the end pin. Now, I had an experience once where I was flying with an acoustic guitar, and I came into it was a New York airport that I won't name LaGuardia, and as I watched, the guy from the baggage claim grabbed my guitar and bounced it right on the end pin. And fortunately, the guitar survived, but that's a weak spot in most cases because the end pin is actually what rests on the bottom of the case. Here, they've done a U-shaped cutout, so when your guitar slides in, it's actually sitting firmly held all the way around the body as well as the end pin. You don't have that problem. You got a tight neck support up here, again with that plush lining on the top as well. Presses down, it keeps the guitar firmly held this way without compacting or compressing the top or the strings. So a really nice case that's lightweight, even though it's made from wood, and it provides you with a lot of protection for your guitar. Very cool. That's not the only new case from Gator. They also came out with the Pro Go gig bags. Now, I've got a lot of gig bags that I use for my guitars, and some of them range from just a vinyl bag that it slips into to things that are basically cases. This falls more into that latter category. This provides a lot of protection for your guitar. It's got an extremely durable fabric that it's made out of, totally rip resistant. Lots of pockets, lots of places for storing things up front here. There's one that's padded. If you have an iPad mini, it'll slip right in there. We've got a large pocket here with a padded pocket inside that. That's very plush lined that you could slip a laptop into or a full-sized iPad. There are Velcro straps here for locking in accessories, little pockets inside for all the things that you need to keep, strings, string cutters, picks, all that type of stuff. Smaller pocket here on the front, and in back, we've got a pocket up here, and what's inside there is actually a rain cover. So if you're taking this out and it's a downpour, you can pull that cover out, slip it over the case, and it's going to help keep your guitar dry. You don't have to get your gig bag all soaked. Now, when you open this up, let's see if we can make this work here. We've got an extremely plush interior on this. What I like about it is there's actually a durable fabric here and a durable fabric down here. I don't know if you can see that on the video. So that's going to protect from the strings ripping up the inside of the case and the bridge and the hardware ripping it up on that end. But it's so plush and so thick. It must have an inch of foam or on the outside here. And that's kind of a cross between a real dense foam and a much more compressible foam that protects very, very well. And what's cool is we've got a removable neck support here. So if you've got a guitar that sits down low and doesn't have an angle to the headstock, you can drop it right in. But if you have one with an angled headstock, put that in, stays in place with Velcro, the neck slips right in here, and it's held very firmly. If the guitar falls over, it absorbs that impact, and you don't have to worry about the headstock snapping off. On the other end, we've got a removable pad here. If your guitar is too small for the case, not long enough for the case, you can drop this in. If it's a long guitar, you can drop that out. And this also has that cutaway for the end pin or the strap pin. So if you drop the case on its bottom, you won't be, again, pushing that up into the body and possibly cracking the body. So really a well-made gig bag. It's got two straps on the back. Those are actually, what I like about this is they've got hooks here that allow you to release the straps, but they're covered with fabric. So they're not digging into things, they're not scratching things. So you can pull those off. There's a place here for a belt strap if you want to have that. So really an incredible gig bag, lightweight. I really like this gig bag.